Hey Year 9, welcome back to my channel. I just thought it would be easier to send this video online rather than type it all out because I just thought it might be easier for both of us. So basically this work that I'm setting now, I want you to complete on Monday, okay? So that's basically going to be your lesson for Monday. So if you go into the tab under assignments, you'll see two activities that I want you to do. So the first one I want you to do is this, it's called a close exercise. So you have to basically fill in the gaps of the summary of the plot for Inspector Calls. And then once you've done that, I want us to do a piece paragraph. Yay! I know you're really excited about that already. So I want you to do a piece paragraph on Gerald Croft. So I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on a model paragraph that I think would be good for Gerald, our good old friend Gerald Croft. Okay, so bear with me. So I'm going to answer the question, how is Gerald Croft presented in the play? So I'm going to write that down. How is Gerald Croft presented in the play? So, as you know, the first thing you need to do is your point. So, the point I'm going to make is the fact that Gerald Croft is confident. So, I'm going to write down. Actually, let me just turn this around. Oh, I can't turn it around. Oh, Well, I won't turn it round. I'll write it and then I'll take a photo of it. So, how is Gerald Croft presented in the play? I'm going to put at the start of the play, he seems very comfortable making himself at home. By the way, I'm looking at a paragraph that I wrote earlier, so I'm just writing it down. That's what I'm looking at. He seems very comfortable making himself at home and behaving like a member of the Burling family. He even makes fun of Eric. Okay, so this is our point then. I'm not really sure if you can see it. Oh God. Right. Can you see it? That's the point I'm going to make, okay? Cool. So, what's next, you might ask? Next is the evidence. And what do we do for evidence? We add quotations. So, I'm then going to put, for example, sure to be unless Eric's been up to something. Now, do you remember that Gerald is part of the family, but not by blood? So for him to kind of question Eric's decisions is quite something. So that shows his confidence really, really well. So the fact he's saying sure to be unless Eric's been up to something is questioning Mr. Burling's son. Now, that's something which takes quite a lot of courage or confidence to do. Okay, so that's why I've chosen that quote. Now I hear you asking, what comes after evidence? Now that would be analysis. So I'm now going to analyse this quote. So I'm going to write down, Mr. Burling suggests that he's in line for a knighthood so long as the family have behaved themselves. Now, as the audience, we're already kind of guessing that they have not been behaving themselves. They have all been involved in the suicide of Eva Smith's suicide. Okay, so we're kind of guessing that Mr. Burling isn't really going to receive his knighthood. After this, I'm going to write, Gerald confidently makes a joke at Eric's expense, which is full of irony. Okay, so let's reread that. Mr. Burling suggests that he's in line for a knighthood, so long as the family have behaved themselves. Gerald confidently makes a joke at Eric's expense, which is full of irony. Now, it's irony because we know that he's not going to receive the knighthood because Eric has been up to something. And the fact that Gerald makes a joke about that, that's why it's ironic, because that is actually what happens in the play. Eric has been up to something, as they will have. Okay, so that is analysis. Because I've taken that quote and I've taken it one step further. I've explained it and I've mentioned that literary technique of irony, so which is full of irony. So after this, I've done my analysis. I'm now going to add some context. So the piece of context I'm going to use is the difference in classes. So I'm now going to bring it back to Priestley. So Priestley uses Gerald to attack the upper classes of post-war Britain. He shows that despite outward appearances, so what Gerald comes across like to the audience, Gerald is described as an attractive chap. And well bred. So he comes from a rich family, basically. However, this class of people were still capable of questionable behaviour. Now, what questionable behaviour are we thinking of with regards to Gerald? We're thinking of his affair with Eva Smith. So after this, I'm going to write, Gerald has an affair and initially avoids telling the truth. Okay, so that's our context. Lastly, we need our effect. So the effect on the audience. Let's think about that. So the audience, as a result of this, will be feeling very sorry for Eva Smith, but they'll also be starting to question Gerald. So that's what we need to write down. We need to write down the fact that the audience is now feeling uncomfortable. They're feeling slightly uneasy. They are questioning this character. So that's what I'm going to write down now. So the effect on the audience is most likely to be that Eva Smith is shown sympathy, whereas Gerald is questioned. We feel uneasy or uncomfortable about his secrecy towards his affair. Now let's link it back to the question. So Gerald's immediate confidence, remember confidence was our point, is now undermined by his secret that we all now know about. Okay, so this is what I've written. I'm not sure if you can see the whole thing. Oh yeah, you can. So I'm just going to take a photo. Okay, so that is what I expect you to do on Monday's lesson. Other points that you can write on with regards to Gerald is the fact that he's evasive, so that means kind of secretive, and the fact that he's also honest, because at the end of the day he does tell the whole truth. So that's what I would like you to do. If you've got any questions, just let me know and upload it on the assignments tab. If it's not on the assignments tab, I will not be marking it because my brain can't function with emails and files and posts and just assignments. Upload, that's where I'll mark it. Okay, so 2 things I want you to do: close exercise, which is filling in the gaps, and then your beautiful piece paragraph. Okay, I hope this is of help. So yeah, enjoy. I can't wait to be reading them.